anyone hear me? Can someone write in the chat if you can hear me? Hello? Yes, okay, great. So I guess we could start. My name is Anton. I'm one of the writers and scripter for Atom RPG and also Trudograd. And I'm joined today by two lovely Alexanders. One Alexander is our game designer and the main quality assurance guy. And the second Alexander is also a writer and also a game designer. So today we will try to answer all your questions. I guess let's start. Guys, do you want to say something?
Hello guys, glad to hear you here.
Okay, that was the first Alexander, game designer and
Yes,
quality.
hey guys, I'm the second Alexander. I would love to answer all your questions and let the stream begin.
Okay, so let's see. Now, first question. The main thing I saw on the top of the... the question is about strange creature, strange mutant that we had in our news in Trudograd that we used as a picture for the news. It's actually from a quest that we added to the game with the last update, but it's a sort of like a secret quest, so not many people, I assume, saw it.
Really hard to find, but it's kind of worth it, I believe.
Yeah, so we decided to use the picture because not a lot of people actually saw it.
It's like a little hint.
Yeah. Thank you for liking the game. Okay, so next question. Trudograd seems more like Fallout 1 than Fallout 2. It's more darker. So it's okay, it's not even a question. Yeah, I guess it is. It's more darker, it's atmospherically more, I wouldn't say realistic, but I don't know, less pulpy and science fiction. Is it like a Deathclaw in Fallout? I presume you mean something you called a spider monkey. No, it's a creature, vampire that we added to the game with the last update, just albino version of it.
It has a rather spooky history too.
Oh yeah, very spooky history. So as you can see right now, Alexander, he streams the game, and Привет, всем привет.
Здравствуй, горохострел. Hey, Marian.
So a dual-wielding pistol will be added in the game, for example, using two scorpions. I don't think so, actually, because we're kind of tied. Trudograd is based very much on Atom, so we don't want to change the dynamics of how Atom worked for Trudograd, because at the end of the day, even though Trudograd became much bigger game that we initially planned, it's still an expansion, story expansion for the first game, so we want it to be kind of the same.
The mechanics aren't just there, the dual wielding mechanics.
Okay, now that you have a power, so the question is, now that you have a power armor, will there be new stronger enemies like the mutants or Deathclaws in Fallout? Or maybe other humans with power armor? Now, for the worst, sure, new enemies will be added with the next update. We will add enemies. Now, how we do it, we add enemies with... now we add new enemies, new encounters with enemies on the global map with... if you complete quests in the main story, so we kind of add new enemies that way, and of course we'll add harder enemies in the next update. And if you have and enemies in power armor, we will have, but I won't spoil when and or how. Sure. The entire purpose of power armor in Fallout 1 and 2 is that you earned it to defeat stronger enemies. Of course, that's the whole idea behind our power armor also. Okay. Question regarding the undeads, like in the first Atom. There will be missions with undeads. Honestly, wait a second. Honestly, yeah, we will have. In first Atom, I think you mean like in that city we had like ghoulish type of mutants that you can meet on the global map there, right? They weren't really undead, but they kind of look like that. We will have sort of enemies that kind of look undeadish in Trudograd 2, but I won't spoil how and when, but in the next, maybe not in the next update, but maybe in the update after that, we will add them. Massive hordes of undeads. Well, not undeads, but massive hordes of something resembling undeads, sure. What about the followers? Will they acquire high DC armor too? DC? What is DC? Well, I presume you mean just better armor. No, right now we're planning only one power armor in the game, so you can make your followers wear it, but at the end of the day, it's only one on the whole of your team. Maybe we will change it in the release version, or maybe in one of the consequential updates that will add to the game after the release. But we'll see. I can't speak about it right now. High tech. Okay, I understand. Yeah. But what I said about power armor. Do you plan to add robots and auto turrets to defend the last location where the Warhead quest is located, used to stop the meteor? Man, you took answer out of my mouth. Yes. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but you kind of guessed it. You're right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we will add. Spot on. Yeah, we will add auto turrets and robots exactly for that location, but maybe not only there. Okay, well, there's no high-tech low-life. Yeah, exactly. That's our idea for Trudograd. Actually, interesting little bit of trivia is that we initially thought of Trudograd as cyberpunk, but without cyber. Low-tech, low-life cyberpunk.
Just pure old punk.
Just pure old punk, yes.
And no, we won't make them like Mr. Handy from Fallout. Nope.
No, yeah, robots will be more realistic. If you played Atom 1, you saw how robots were
or not working.
Well, there was one working robot in Atom 1, so it's
The
something similar to
Villa
that. More
Yep.
realistic. Can you finish the game if you piss off both police and the revolutionaries? Yes, it will be possible. Is there thought to implement cover in the game? Not at the moment, I'm afraid. Not at the moment, because, as I said, the game works kind of similar to how Atom worked. So if we don't want to add mechanics that will be too different from Atom, because, as I said, it's still an expansion. It's not a sequel. It's an expansion. Bigger, better, stronger, but still story expansion for the first game.
Yeah, but maybe we can do it in the next game, really.
Maybe in the next game, sure. No, we're not against the idea. I'm just saying that maybe not in Trudograd.
Yes, it's still an open question for the next game, whatever it will be. But in the current Trudograd, straying far away from the original is just it feels kind of wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So
okay, so great game. Are we gonna add more equipment variety to the game? Since the first one didn't have too many variations in terms of low tier to high tier armor equipment. We already added new types of weaponry, and if you speak about armor, if we exclude power armor that we added to the game, we will also probably add new breastplates and probably new helmets. But I can't say if it will happen in this update, maybe in the next one. But I think in release version, I can say that for sure.
I think we believe that current amount is sufficient really for that game.
But we'll right now, yes. But maybe because the game is evolving, so it's probably will change. Okay, I have a suggestion in regards to something. Do we wish to add a sentient AI computer that guards the Warhead Depot and we can play chess with it? We actually had a sentient AI computer in Atom, in the first Atom. So we didn't want to add something similar to this game because it was very unique in first Atom.
yeah, in the first Atom, it was described as a standalone invention of a single person, of single pre-war professor, and it's doubtful that these things were mass-produced. It was like a prototype you met in the first Atom, so unfortunately we can't reuse this idea for Trudograd, because in the first Atom you kind of dealt with it already, probably.
And you actually did it exactly through mind games and riddles. Greetings to all from faraway Siberia. Greetings to Siberia, to faraway Siberia, that is. I mean, no shame. I mean, we had this computer. It would be, it would be just kind of lore unfriendly. We would add another one like that.
We'll think of something as fun but different, I hope. When can we expect the full game? Asks George. What can you say about it, Anton?
Probably probably beginning of 2021. So it's possible in winter, or at the worst case scenario in the beginning of spring. We'll see. But as we stated, we don't want the game to be for a year in early access. So if it's possible to avoid it, sure, it's great. We want to release it as soon as possible. But if there will be some game-breaking bugs or anything like that, maybe we will postpone the release, but to a month maximum.
Guys, one sec please. I changed the microphone volume a little. That's better?
You sound better. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You sound A-okay.
Are there bears in Trudograd? Not at the moment, but possibly will be when you will be able to travel from Trudograd to the surrounding areas.
Yeah, no bears in the city, but we just might add some outside.
Outside
There
the
will
city,
be
it's
some
very
outside locations. Yeah.
It's bear season outside the city.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not polar bears because it's Trudograd
It's
is
not
not actually in the polar region. It's more southern.
It's just that the climate changed a little bit. But yeah, it's not actually northern.
Plus the game takes place during winter, so it's naturally more snowy.
But brown bears, well, I don't see anything wrong with brown bears.
Okay, no questions at the moment. We're just chilling, playing game here. So what about Romans in the game? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question that I'm not sure I can answer fully, because even though we plan to add maybe some romancing options, I don't know if we will do it in the released version. But maybe in an expansion, not even an expansion, like a free update to the game. Maybe we'll add something like that. But at the moment, your hero is tied down. Melee weapons can be upgraded with mods.
Yeah, of course.
Sure,
But
sure.
in the next update, I think.
These are gonna be some cool mods too. I kind of saw the blueprint ideas. Really nasty weapons sometimes.
Oh yeah. Romans in Fallout 1 and 2 was placeholder, but they could do something that. Romans with NPCs, I don't know, maybe with companions. We'll see about it. Maybe with NPCs, but it's kind of hard to do, I guess. Hard to do it right. And we don't want to do it, we don't want to do a bad work about it, so.
Exactly. It's a really fun idea to play around with, to think about, but implementing it in a sort of half-assed way is, well, we don't want to do that. And it's pretty hard to implement it really nicely, so it would just pop out and seem really fun and many-sided.
Okay, sorry guys. Took a moment there. 2 questions. So is the meteorite real, or are people just going crazy over that Hesperus star thing? Well,
Good question.
Good question. It's for you to decide. We don't talk about it in the game, but your Atom superiors think that the problem is very real. So make of that what you
I
want.
see the possibility, but is it real? Well, any answer is the right answer.
Well, not any answer. There's one right answer, but we are not telling. Apart from Hexagon, will we see another character from Atom RPG?
You can see your dog if you meet
No.
certain requirements.
You
It's
can
on a
see a
picture,
photo of
though.
your dog. No,
Yeah.
if you will see other characters, but those characters who actually said in Atom RPG that they're going to visit Trudograd. So that's not a lot of characters, and but we want to add them all to Trudograd if you have the right save file. But if you don't have a save file, I don't know. I guess it will depend. Will you see them or not?
It will be a really smaller number of characters if you don't have the save file where the characters you met in the first Atom travel to Trudograd, for example, in the resolution of their quest lines. But, for example, Trudograd will host rumored characters from the first Atom. The characters that were rumored to reside in Trudograd or to go to Trudograd, etc.
Yeah, well, it
So-
already has some characters from Atom. Do you want to do something funny? Special locations or items from those games. That's Diablo themed. I mean, dude, let's be honest. Like, Atom and Trudograd are kind of Fallout themed already. So, if we add even bigger tributes to Fallout, I think it's gonna be, I don't know. It could get illegal.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We don't hide our love for the Fallout titles, the first ones and the first Wasteland, so there's plenty of inspiration there already. Although, to be honest, I would have loved to add certain Fallout's Star Trek references. Remember those?
Yeah, well, Star Trek. We actually have, not many people know, but we actually have Star Trek references in the Atom 1. I think.
That we do.
I think we have original Star Trek and New Generation, and some of those references are quite well hidden, so not a lot of people saw them actually.
But their brains did.
Okay. By the way, guys, did you find out we just released patch for Trudograd? A lot of mistakes that people find who play Trudograd were fixed, so now it's a much better experience. And I guess we continue working on the update now because patch is over. I mean, there's still some mistakes that I think we found, but there are smaller mistakes, and we will fix them when the update will be released. Will there be a continuation of Skin Worm myth? It will be mentioned, I think, but probably
There is a certain mention already.
Yeah, yes, there is mention already, but I'm not sure that you will play such a strong role as it played in first Atom.
Exactly. But if you pay a lot of attention, the Skinworm mystery will only thicken thanks to Trudograd. But it's a really small hint we hidden somewhere there.
Okay, so here are questions. Are you ever going to implement 3 such obvious tactical mechanics? Okay, let's see. Cover defenses. Now, as we talked about it before, we want to keep Trudograd closer to original Atom, but in the future, in future projects, sure, we're not against it. On the contrary, well, we're absolutely for this. Second, ability to stand, kneel, lay down. Now, that's a bit more tricky because Atom was never a tactical game. I mean, it has tactics for sure, but it's less of a tactical game in comparison with something, for example, like Jaggedlands 2. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe automatic kneel if you're in the cover base. Now, and total control over your allies optional. Well, I think it's not optional. If we'll do, not if, but when we will do our next project, we will add total control over our allies. That's what we want to do also.
Yeah, all of these things are really fun. Like, I won't talk for the whole team, but I believe a lot of us are really big fans of old school tactical games, especially the Jagged Alliance series, and we love all those cover mechanics, the kneeling, the proning, all of those positions and stuff. But it was a specific choice for the Atom games, both Atom 1 and Trudograd, since it's a derivative of Atom 1, that we keep the combat relatively very simple, like it was in the Fallout series. We just, it's not that we hate the ideas, we love them really much, but we don't want to mix it up.
Yeah, but in the next project, sure, no problem. So
Yeah, if one day we do a tactical game, I think we should implement all that stuff. A game
question,
that has more tactics.
not even question, a suggestion. You could do a quest where a bunch of guys want to blow up a ship, unless you already have one. I mean, I think you're trolling us because we have exactly that same quest where you need to blow up a ship. But thank you for suggesting. Still. Okay, so any more questions? Oh, okay, I see one. Will Trudograd have DLC? Right now, we are thinking only about developing the game, developing Trudograd. So I can't. But we will probably have DLCs in the future. But right now, I can't answer it with 100% certainty because our main priority is to develop Trudograd and release it. Oh,
yeah, but I believe DLCs are not a close subject at the moment. But first, of course, we must finish Trudograd.
Yeah.
But DLC sounds like a good idea in some relatively close future.
Okay, so the Underground Railroad and Atom was the best RPG gameplay I ever had. Thank you. Are we getting something similar in Trudo? You mean the quest line that it had, or like the second global map under the city? Because I'm not sure about second global map, at least not right now. But as far as for like darker quest lines, I think sure, it's fair to say that we'll have something like that. Will you implement a method to hire mercenaries for a day or something like that? We actually never thought about it. Because
well, you have certain companions, for example, on the ship quest that only follow you along for a certain mission.
Yeah, but it's like story companions.
Yeah.
If you mean like mercenaries for that you can just hire for maybe specific missions, I don't know. We never thought about it, and I'm not really sure that we will implement it. But it's something to think about, at least for the future. Maybe not in Trudograd, but yeah, it's not a bad idea, sure. But I don't know how it will work with the main gameplay of Trudograd.
Exactly.
So any more? Any language translations coming before the release?
Well, there's a lot to say about it. We're currently working with a bunch of fan translator teams. And when working with fan translators, you cannot, of course, promise anything to the players because, these communal efforts are more or less free will, and we do not control our translators. But hopefully, and I mean, there's a lot of hope for that, we will gain a Spanish version before the game is released, up to the release time. We will get a French version, most probably. And we really, really hope for a Chinese version, too.
Okay,
so there's that.
Will there be tanks in the game? Probably not.
but you already have power armor. But
you have power armor. It's sort of like tanks on two legs. So the next best thing.
A walking tank. What else can you want? And there's also like that tank-looking thing on the factory, which is
Yeah,
just
but
a
you
part
can't
of the
ride it.
scenery.
You can't ride
Yeah,
it, but
well,
it's just. But
why do you need to ride it? Just look at it.
yeah, admire it. Admire its beauty. Um, what are the team plans for future games? Will the set still be post-apocalyptic? Will you still use Unit Engine? Now, honestly, can't say. We're thinking about other genres, but right now, again, as I said, we're focused on developing Trudograd. So for us, that's the main goal, something that we think about. But we're not against other genres. We probably will still make RPGs, but maybe in different genres. We'll see. We'll see about it. I can't say anything right now with again 100% certainty because I don't know myself. But will we still use Unity engine? Yeah, probably, because it's actually a good engine. It
Yeah,
has a
we
lot of
have a lot of work done in Unity
yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
basically we built a lot of stuff on it, on the top of the Unity engine, which we use in our games,
Yeah, it
and
has a lot.
we really don't want to part with that, for
It
now
had a
at
lot of
least.
bad rap. I think Unity, but I don't think that all of that that is necessary because they actually fixed a lot of problems that they had.
They are constantly fixing stuff. They are actually pretty good. Nice support too.
So will we have a rocket launcher? Honestly, probably not. Probably not. At least again, not in this game, because we don't even have a skill for that. And
On the other hand, Alexander, what do you think? Do you want to add a rocket launcher?
No, I think not now. Maybe really in the
Okay.
next game.
That guy already added a grenade launcher, which we will soon see. So yeah, maybe this time without actual rockets, but
But
there will be a lot of
we will add a
explosions.
few more weapons for power armor.
Oh yeah,
What do you
really cool weapons.
So, okay, another question. What do you plan to do for the next game? That's we already answered. Actually answered it right now. Again, we're focused on developing Trudograd. So right now we don't think about the next game. Probably an RPG. Everything else, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. If you're talking about wishes, well, personally, I wish it would, but maybe just the setting will change. Maybe not. Maybe we'll stay with post-apocalypse. Maybe not. We're really focused on Trudograd right now. Thinking about next projects while you're still doing your current project is kind of distracting. It will make the mind going, and we're just focusing on the mission at hand, so to say.
Okay. By the way, if you're is everything all right? Like the connection, sound quality, and all that. I'm not asking about our answers because I think we all have horrible accents.
That we do,
Yes,
comrade.
I liked very much in the first item the mission at the junkyard because it was a fight between two big gangs. Will we have something similar in Trudograd?
Well, we already have something really similar. Maybe on a much lower scale, though.
We have something similar, yes, already in Trudograd, but we'll probably add a bit more of that in the game, and actually, the story itself helps with that. So probably when you will uncover more of the story, you will get more quests like that. We'll see about it. Yeah, but it's
when you have those two huge factions that hate one another, you really can't go far without a large set piece of combat.
yeah. Yep.
And also we added a big dungeon in the last update. Not exactly what you asked for,
Yes.
but not bad either, I think.
This is true. Yeah, you're actually once again hired by the same organization that made you do the junkyard quest in the first Atom. Have you spotted that one yet?
But
Mike?
Are we
only,
talking?
but
No,
only
no,
for
no, no.
power armor.
The question is, are we
Nope,
talking
not
about?
the boat mission, the cave mission.
Yeah, it's not the boat mission. We will not spoil it, but it's connected to the power armor at the moment. What about some kinds of steampunk type of setting for your next project, like Dishonored or even Arcanum? Arcanum is a great game, I think. Dishonored also. Actually, it sounds like a great idea, but again, something to consider, but not something to consider right now. Not because we dislike it, but because we're so hyper focused. I wish someone I wish someone would remake Arcanum. Exactly. Arcanum was, I think, my personal opinion, Arcanum was a great game. So
If we ever get a remake, I will make the first day purchase. Honestly, I love Arcanum.
will there
Don't
be
know
a hero?
whether we'd ever do something like Arcanum style, but the game was lovely, just lovely.
Will there be hero residents like the Red Fighter in Trudograd? Yeah, we're planning something similar to that, but honestly, again, there's a lot of stuff we need to do for release. So if we will be able to release it at release, then sure. But if not, then we will add it with a free update after that.
Yeah, we have certain ideas. It's just a matter of time and priority. Plot locations have a bigger priority at the moment.
Exactly.
If we have enough time to make it, we're gonna make it at least on the same level as it was in the first Atom. Maybe even more fun stuff. Hard to say at the moment.
So, a serious question for Trudograd. Did you begin designing the last locations, and the enemies and bosses present in that zone? Yes.
You got it.
You got it. Yeah. We started. I think a couple of not even a couple of, like, let's say a month ago we started to work on it.
Yeah, around 5 weeks or so.
Yeah, maybe even more. So
sketches, plans, all the stuff.
So yeah, because we want it to be like a very interesting place, because it's a last location in the game, it should be crisp. We need Russian style of Terminators, the top secret project to rule the world. Maybe some people in Trudograd are already working on it. Who knows? They do have a machine factory there, so it's all possible.
These guys can make anything.
It's very strange how the team in Atom was walking over lava.
Well, now they don't even walk around in water that's electrocuted, so we kind of fixed that issue.
Yeah, they don't want to go in the water.
If you ever notice them going into some place they shouldn't, you just email us a save. We'll fix it for you.
Yeah, it's probably a bug.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So any more questions? How are you guys? LOL. Some user asked.
Well, We're doing good. Thanks. How are you?
How are you? Yeah. We're doing fine right now. Have you compared Atom to Wasteland 2 and 3? Compared like gameplay
In what
wise?
way?
Yeah, in what way? I think gameplay wise, actually Fallout is closer to Atom is closer to Fallout 1 and 2. Yeah.
The Wasteland series are a fine line of games, but we're just, well, maybe it shows our age here in the team, but we love the first one best still.
But I like the first
despite
Wasteland.
reading the manual all the time and
Yeah.
all of the obsolete stuff you had
Oh.
to do. But
Thank you for being with us, Marius. Have a good night. Good night.
good night, Marius.
In the future, will be added element interaction like oil and fire for explosion or something like that.
We already
Good
have on red barrels in the cave.
Yeah, we have red barrels, but like if we can spill the oil on the ground and then fire at it, and it will create a fire field. It's a bit advanced. Right now, it's a little more simplistic. We have a little more simplistic interaction. So yeah, like Alexander said, you can blow up a red barrel basically, and you can use Molotov cocktail to make a wall of fire. But at the moment, that's about it. But sure, it's a good idea. It's like Divinity Original Sin showed how it's done. So yeah. Yeah, something similar to Divinity. Yeah, sure. Again, maybe not in Trudograd, because Trudograd is already set from Atom, how it works, the mechanics, and all that jazz. We tinkered a little bit with skill system. We added, interesting little small features here and there. But for the larger stuff, yeah, we don't want to change it all that much right now.
Yeah, those kinds of hazards are basically the one we are planning right now are really handmade and not more widespread mechanics. But who knows?
Yeah, so
Eugene
if this is not a secret, in your lore, West provoke nuclear war or things are more complicated?
They're more
we
complicated.
specifically, things are more complicated, but we specifically don't want to say who provoked the war, who started the war, because for inhabitants of the world, 20 years after, it doesn't really matter. So people, I think if you ask people in Trudograd, they probably think that West provoked. If you ask people in, I don't know, New York, they will probably, in the world of Atom, of course, they will probably say that the East provoked the war.
And there's also another theory.
Yeah, so there's a lot of theories. People are thinking what they like to think. It's for inhabitants of the world. That's not all that important. I'm not saying you will never find out who, maybe some secrets about the war, how it started, and all that. But it's not something that people in the wastelands are all that interested in.
Exactly. There are some discussions in both games about who to blame. And it's really a personal choice which evidence you find to be the most blaming. For me, it's the dolphin's fault, of course.
Okay, will you expand inventory with belts for stuff? Will we expand inventory with belts? I think that Alexander, game designer, will be better suited to answer this question.
Tell us, Alexander, what about the belts?
I think not at the moment. I think the slot is for other things.
But I think it's something that we spoke about maybe again in the future. Maybe not right now, but something for the future project. Again, idea is great, but we don't want to go too far from the Atom formula here.
Yeah, giving too much item slots and expanding the mechanics a lot is something we can do without a lot of trouble, but we sometimes need to stop ourselves actually, because going too far, having too much, can actually result in having too little in the end.
Okay, Marian. No, thank you, Marian. Thank you for liking the game. That was made for you guys. So if you enjoyed both Adam and Trudograd, that makes her happy. That's our mission is complete. Okay, so Herzen already answered who is to blame, what is important,
Respect.
what to do. Sure. Well, Hans, again, if Herzen would be an NPC in Adam or Trudograd, his opinion would be only one of myriad of opinions. Um, question about developing and improving original Atom game. Will you release some new content for it? And again, fix crater location in Dead City when turn is infinity long. Um, I think we just released a patch for Atom. Not sure. Maybe I think we released a patch for Atom today. Will we add new DLCs or updates? Not right now, because again, right now we're focused on developing Trudograd, and after Trudograd, we will probably work on some updates to it, and maybe even a DLC, but for Trudograd. But in the future, sure, we can. We're thinking, we're toying.
We're certain about one thing only, that we will continue supporting the first Atom game
Absolutely.
for as long as it's needed. Even if there will be new bugs found in 2 years, we will support it in 2 years. We will patch it up all the time if need be. But we'll see whether we will add actually something to it. We just might. Some studios make those director cut versions of their games with updated stuff or new locations. That sounds fun and looks fun sometimes. We don't know really at the moment.
But if we will tell you all about it in our social medias, on Steam, GOG, everywhere. And
we'll make a big announcement.
The second question is, will we fix the crater location in Dead City? Yeah, there's a lot of enemies there, so turns may take a long time. But you can actually make your battle speed in options. You can put battle speed up to maximum, so your turns will take that less time.
Yeah, it went around a minute for me, I think, when I was testing, when I upped the combat speed to the max. Hopefully that will help.
So will there be more funny books in Trudo like in Atom? Atom had tons of fun books, like Dick Popov.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure. We want to add more books to Trudograd, but again, right now we're more focused on quests, story quests, and some side quests also. So we're not adding as much of content like books or maybe just your general NPCs who you can talk to but who don't give quests, for example. But sure.
Funnily enough, making an in-game book is actually it takes a little bit more time than making an average character. And characters, of course, are a priority right now.
And also interesting. It's harder to translate because books are naturally larger.
Translation takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
much more than an average dialogue.
And about Dick Popov, the character itself, if you had the save, will probably return. Maybe in some new books, maybe old books. But Trudograd, we were thinking about. Adding maybe a new pulpy character to Trudograd. I think Romanji Gypsy, we had something like that.
That we do.
Yes. Maybe there will be books about Romain the Gypsy Lord.
Oh, it seems like Alexander found a wallet and got some experience too. I love that loading screen.
Possible location for player's base, actually. See, where's a
Yeah.
stove, with a cat, with all the jazz.
Just might work.
Okay, guys. So, any more questions? If
Ask
you have
us
any more
anything.
questions, because we're thinking it's a bit too late, and okay, I can.
Oh yeah.
Somebody in our team are a huge Lovecraft fan. Can we wait for quests inspired by Lovecraftian horror? We got you,
You-
fam. Right now, we have ideas that we want to realize, maybe, possibly in this update. Exactly,
There's
Lovecraftian
a
horror.
really eldritch location,
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Hopefully. The plans are already made, and you might even meet someone on the ship who kind of will pay homage to something of Lovecraft's writing.
Can we add something like permanent broken arms, legs, eye lost when enemy can shoot, two-handed weapon? Now, about permanent injuries, probably not, because it's a bit too, I would say, hardcore-ish than what we initially wanted to for the game to be. But we already have not permanent, but injuries, like you can damage your vision, you can damage your arms. It's something that you can do in the game, but it's not permanent. And as for two-handed weapons, again, it's probably won't add this to Trudograd, but for the next project, if the next project will include guns and some sort of gunplay, sure, why not? Shooting from both hands, that sounds cool.
All those mechanics are really cool. For me, I'm a huge fan of certain games that had localized injuries, like the first Deus Ex game, for example. But again, we just didn't want to mix it up, like mix everything we liked in one single project. We had to make the mechanics a bit simpler to resemble the Fallout titles we loved so much and wanted to represent.
And also we want
And their own great ideas.
not want to overload the player with unnecessary micromanagement. It's boring, really.
Yeah.
It's very boring.
Yeah, adding micromanagement on top of micromanagement can be a bit of a hassle, of course.
Okay. Adam Incline, thank you. You're inclined, to quote Keanu Reeves. Thank you for playing classic RPGs, man. Yeah, good night, George. Good night. Thank you for being here. Marion, again, thank you. Great evening to you too, buddy. Eugene, escape from Trudograd.
Spot on again.
Who knows?
That
Who knows?
movie
Escape
was a whole inspiration. A large bit of inspiration.
Or maybe it's actually about Escape from Tarkov.
Oh. Well, that's a good game too.
That's a good game too. Yeah.
I just started thinking about the movies as soon as I read it.
Yeah, actually, there were some good movies. Actually, something to be inspired for. Okay, guys. Yeah, it was a great evening, and hope you liked our answers. I mean, they weren't the greatest. We kind of rumbled through it because we kind of forgot our English. But yeah, it was great.
We will learn. We have to do it again sometime.
We'll have to do it again sometime. Yeah. So good night for me. Good day for me if it's day for you. And guys.
See you later, guys. It was fun talking to you.
Yeah, thank you and goodbye.